Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing the Cherry on Top design theme YouTube hop, and for the month of June, the theme is Let's Celebrate. And for this, I think I'm just going to be taking it very loosely and saying we're going to celebrate summer or spring, whichever. But I'm going to be playing with two new sets of dies that I picked up for recently from a Cherry on Top. So Out to New has many sets of these Build-A-Flowers, and I do have two other sets that are no longer available, but this one I just purchased this month, but it is from a couple months release. I forgot when this one was released, but like in the last 6 months. But there's different versions. So this one just happens to be the Dahlia, and they have anemones, they have dogwood, they have magnolias, they have saffron, like they have all of, I almost want them all. And you know, it's what I did look into is that All Too New offers a subscription for the die cut like this every month. And I'm tempted if I want to get, do that subscription. Anyways, and then this one just for strictly the variations in the foliage. Now, I'm not interested in kind of turning the tips into all the colors and stuff, but to cut out a bunch of foliage and a bunch of flowers and make some sort of bouquet for maybe an art journal page is where I'm headed. Or maybe even just do a couple of cards is where I'm headed. I'm getting into the cards. I really am. I think my last project, I don't know if I've posted the video yet because I'm behind on editing, but two on the same theme, but two different projects. So I made these cards recently with another die that I recently purchased on my last purchase, which was this one from Elizabeth Crafts. And I made these two cards, and stop it, you guys. And I've cut out so much extra fruit now that I want to do an art journal page with them too. So I made these, right? And then I'm also on the Cocoa Daisy team, total sideshow bit, but I also made very simple ones with the collection for the month too. So I'm definitely on my little card making voyage, and they sit in this drawer so that I can easily use them. So we might make cards, but in the meantime, I have pulled cream cardstock. Like this is just, from the big craft stores. And I have a few of my oxide inks in order to do some like blending to get that variation in the, in the flower. And then I have like 3 tones of cardstock these are all in my scrap pile. So they're not all like full sheets and stuff. So I probably use them on some other project, but 3 tones, and we'll just go to town and make a bunch of these. And maybe do some blending too, and then go from there. So that is where I'm at so far in my thought processes. Didn't get very far other than that. So we have the leaf, and we have leaves here too. So yeah, we're gonna cut out a bunch of the flowers and get to going. So this part is always the repetitive portion. So I will probably show a little bit of me making them, and then I will, with the power of editing, fast forward to when I'm blending these out to get some color, and then we will fast forward to see what I decide to make with them, whether it is a couple cards or if we make them into an art journal page. I'll be happy with any of that. Okay, my darling crafty friends, let's get started on making a million flowers. No, not a million. I think I make a good 8, maybe 8 or 10. I think it's 8. So I repeat this process a few times, even though this first run I should have, usually sometimes I feel like I don't have to go forward and backwards in my die cutting machine. But with my first run, it didn't cut all the way through, so that's why you see me kind of fussing with one of the cuts. But after this time, I do kind of put pressure in different areas and kind of roll back and forth on areas so that the cut goes all the way through. I'm sure I also probably could just get one of those extra little like skims, I think they call it, like another layer. I could probably do the same thing with cardstock or something just to give it a little bit more tension in there. But overall, these All Too New die cut sets, like I said, I think I mentioned this might be my 3rd set of these like layering flowers, and they're really so fun. Now if you're not into kind of figuring it out, because they are delineated, there's a
keyhole for the ones that layer on top of each other all have a keyhole in the center, and then the other set, flower B, have a triangle. So it is pretty self-explanatory, and then the little middle parts have the numbers 1, 2, 3 on it, so you know the order to kind of glue them to. And I don't think I think I show some of that footage too. So that's how they kind of come together, and then you just do the leaves and stuff. This is probably great, obviously, for the card makers in the world. But also, put these next to your 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts. Don't only, like, what do they say, like, is it a pigeonhole yourself, like, just because it's alt new and it says it's for card makers. Please consider the idea that it can be used. These could have easily been a 12 by 12 layout I could have done with it. You can do cards. I would throw these also on like a mixed media layout. So say you played with your paint, you did some stenciling, some stamping, and you have like this really cool background in maybe like a darker color than whatever you color these on top could make a beautiful sentiment page, and just throw a big bold, title word on it like I usually do. That was an avenue I would consider as well. So this, when I'm doing all of this, I still, at this point, was just like listening to an audiobook. That's usually what I do when I'm doing a very repetitive task like this. I just kind of throw on an audiobook and, just kind of lose myself in the motions and getting all of this kind of repeat work done. So if you, in case that intimidates you too, just know that you listen to music, listen to a book and kind of do the repeat stuff over and over again. Once I'm done cutting all the flowers out, I do take the time to get like an ink blending brush, and I use the pinks and purples from the Oxide line. So I think it's Kitsched Flamingo, and then I use, the other one is Wilted Violet and Picked Raspberry, are the ones that are still sitting on my desk from playing with all of this, and just get that blended look on those petals. For the foliage, I do take the time to do it on 3 tones of that scrapbooking paper that I have, so that I have some of that depth. I did like a lighter one, mid-tone, and a darker version as well. And if you just did the leaves that come with it, fantastic. I was just showing you that I also had picked up an extra version of like foliage from that Elizabeth Craft ones. I can never pass up a good foliage die cut, because just like in this project, I make like it in abundance, and that way I can have a little dish full of leaves next to my desk, and I can throw it on an art journal page, or I can throw it as a little layering piece with other florals and stuff, because you can't go wrong with leaves, in my opinion. And it's just fun. So here I am kind of looking at it too and just understanding like, okay, how do I do it all? I'm like, oh, okay, this is when I was figuring out, oh, triangle on triangle and keyhole on keyhole. Ah, got it. All right, let me put all the pairs together. So each flower gets 2 layers of it, and then it's 1, 2, 3 for the little center parts as well. And then this process goes really smooth. But before I do it all, this is when I was like, oh, I can't do all of the colors, but let me get the pairs and color up some of them. So that's what I did first, and then I was like pairing them all together. So I made sure it was obviously purple on purple, even though, let's be honest, if you did a purple layer and then a pink layer, that could have looked really cute too. So it was just me preferring, tone on tone. And then in this little fine tip applicator bottle is a reptile glue, just a new one that I'm trying, that was recommended in the mixed media art journaling world. I wouldn't say I'm overly impressed with it, but I'm just letting you know what's in that applicator bottle. It's liquid glue. Any liquid glue would do. So I take the time, clearly still listening to an audiobook at this point, and getting all of this work done. And then off camera, I do cut out the little orangey centerpieces, and then I glue those. Those are a 2-layer little motion too. And I did tones of orange and yellow too. And then I'm showing you I put stickles on the petals, and then I used that letterboard die cut and cut out letters for my title page. So at this point, I was figuring out off camera, like, what am I going to use all these flowers for? They're so pretty. I can do cards, and I had cards, auditioning that out. I did pull out an art journal, and I was like, auditioning out where I would lay them out. But in the end, also on my desk, I had 2 albums sitting that I want to do, like compilation albums. One for all of her school year photos, so the first and last day that I always take, I want to have an album of that, and then one for all her birthdays. So I always take like her annual birthday shot with like a number balloon, or her balloons that we always, get her for her birthday. And so every year I've done it. So this one I'm making as the title page for the birthday album. So once I had that in my head, I was like, okay, so I'm not doing cards and I'm not doing an art journal, but having a title page with all of this could look really cute and be very striking as the opening page of this album that I want, this project that I want to do. Because I have none of the photos printed or anything, but this is what I want to go back and my camera roll and print are the annual birthday photos, and then also have like an additional like maybe pocket page for the birthday party, because we have had a birthday party also every year. The only year it was last year that we didn't, because we took her to Legoland. So for her turning 7, it'll just have Legoland photos of me, and we went with the set of friends too with us on that day. So it'll be fun photos for that too. So that's my idea. So here I am auditioning just like the bouquet on top with all the birthdays as my title piece on the bottom. And I'm liking it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I should see what it looks like in the middle. So then I zhuzh it all up to the middle. And I do like it in the middle more, but at first I have it all in a row, which I do like, but it just squished it too much. Like, I liked it. And then I was like, well, let me stack it like I did on the bottom, like all on the top layer, and then birthdays just across the bottom. And that's where I fell in love. I was like, you know what, that's striking, because at least it's not on the bottom. It felt too weighted unevenly, but in the middle, I was like, yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. All right, let me take everything off the page. Let me start with the letters and draw a line down the middle. And so with the magic of editing, I glue it all down off camera so that you don't have to watch that. But overall, just know I liked it split, and that's what you'll see in my end result. And this is the title page for a new project that I will be printing photos for.
Okay, my dears, I saved you from watching me glue everything down. So everything that's left over is here on my desk. I do have 2 flowers and tons of greenery, but look how beautiful. I love it. Okay, so I know I probably did it in the voiceover about explaining that I do like these culmination albums, and I haven't done one yet for her birthdays. I just want like each birthday. My daughter's 7 now, so this will be the one. It's a pink citrus twist. It's all the birthdays, so that will match the title page. And just look, and I did this one and this one on some fun foam so that it pops up. And the letters are on black, like, glitter paper, so it's hard to see, but they do have, like, a texture. Not so much as, like, a sparkle, but you can kind of see it. But the sparkle and everything, it just looks very lush. Very lush. Isn't that a pretty title page? Of course, I could have done cards. Of course, I could have done, like, an art journal page. Maybe I'll save the other 2. But I just was sitting here, and I was looking at the next projects. I had these albums sitting on my desk, ready to print, and I have one that I'm starting for all the school years as well. So school years is a hot pink one, you know, and like I have kindergarten, so she's in 1st grade, so first and last, and so then the next page is also like first day, and I did just get the last day, but it was yesterday for school. So I have that one, so I need to do a title page for that too, but this one will start having, I'll be able to print the pictures for 1st birthday, 2nd birthday, etc. Isn't it fun? Okay, so we're celebrating the birthdays here. I hope you follow along. I have everyone linked down below in the hop, so go ahead and leave a comment on all of their videos, and you'll have a chance to win $25 to shop at a cherry on top. Thank you as always for spending some time with me. Give this video a thumbs up. It always helps my channel be found by new people. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and spending some crafty time with me from time to time. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!